Hi, here's another little Q&A video I have. This one's probably gonna be a little longer, because there are 6 questions instead of 1. But then again, some of these questions are kind of just really basic, and there's really no need to go on and on like I did in my last video, like I am right now, and this is only the introduction. Alright. Here's my first question from Hannah. Did you get singing lessons? Yes and no. From kindergarten through 5th grade, I was in the choir slash music programs in school, and I'm gonna be honest, I really hated it. Mainly because when you're a little kid, you don't really appreciate as much as you would as an adult. And let's be honest, little kiddie songs, like that's not me. Fucking let's see. It Real life is not about all sunshines and rainbows. There are going to be very crazy things that happen to you. You are going to get depressed at least once in your lifetime. Singing about happy, happy days, Shaggy and blah, blah, blah. No, the Muppets don't sing about Sesame Street or the Muppets. That stuff's not real. It's not real, okay? Unless it's about sharing. If they're singing about sharing, then yes, that's important. But yes, so yes and no. I technically did get lessons, but it was through school, and I was kind of forced into it. And then I really didn't appreciate it until 6th grade when it was no longer offered, and then I started listening to like rock music more often. I was like, hey, singing is cool. And in 5th grade, I picked up playing the flute, so that's when I started to get a little arrogant. And I was like, oh, I hate singing, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't start singing again until this year. In September of 2014, I didn't start taking any choir classes until 12th grade because for 7 years those classes weren't offered to me. This year they were. Another question from Hannah. What made you want to be a musician? Well, honestly, nothing made me want to become a musician. It's just that I've pretty much been born into the society where you have to just figure out what you're good at, and I'm good at making music. I've, even though I've been playing the flute for 7 years, I've actually been a musician for even longer because in kindergarten they don't, in music it's not just singing like in music classes. It's not like in choir you're just singing, but in actual music class they'll have you like play the maracas or something, or like the xylophone, and that's what I started playing. So technically I started percussion before anything. I just never really took that up, minus the piano. I love the piano. But let's not get into how many instruments I can play, honestly, because it's quite a few, and I explained that in another Q&A video a little over a year ago, and I believe it was on my other YouTube channel, or one of my other YouTube channels. I have a total of 3 channels now. Okay. And the last question by Hannah is, what musician inspired you? Well, there's a lot of musicians that inspire me to be myself, but I can't really say that their music inspires me to make music. I really appreciate their music, and I love their music, but it's, I don't know, well, when it comes to like classical music and like symphonies and stuff, I'd have to say Ludwig van Beethoven. Ludwig von Beethoven. I had to say it with the accent because I am German, right? It's not a perfect accent, but it's pretty close. Not really. Yes, so Beethoven inspires me to make, well, not necessarily make symphonic music, but just to play it. I mean, I've been listening to Beethoven since I was a little kid. But yes, but then like musicians that inspire me to be myself, there's a whole list, but I guess I'll just name 10 if I can. Let's see. William Control, who's also known as Will Francis, or William Roy Francis, that's his full name, so that's one. Andy Biersack, Joel Favier, Ronnie Radke, Alice Cooper, Joan Jett, Pink, Adam Lambert, Hilary Duff, and Alicia Demner. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She also goes by Mixie. She's the lead vocalist. Actually, I think she's the only vocalist. She's the front woman of Stitched Apart. So that's 10 singers. There's a whole lot more, but there's, people inspire me to be myself. I'll just add in one more. Kurt Cobain. Yes, he inspires me to be myself. Now my best friend Ari submitted one question. How many CDs do you plan to make? Well, Ari, that's a very complicated question to answer, mainly because I am an unsigned artist. I'm underground as well. Not many people know of my music unless you go to Vandalism, because that's where I get the most views, is on Vandalism. I have over 2,000 views on, a few songs. Now, there's a few songs on SoundCloud I've gotten a few thousand, but those were vocal covers of me singing stuff like just stuff by like CCR. If you don't know what that stands for, it's Creedence Clearwater Revival. I've done covers by them, and those get a lot of views, surprisingly.